Right, and thank you so much for staying with us. Time now for Her Say. Remember, like I have been saying, our conversation today is on menopause. We're calling it the menopause years. And my guest is already with me in studio, Dr. Maureen Owiti. She is the head of reproductive health at Kenyatta National Hospital, that's KNH, and a member of the Kenya Obstetrical and Gynecological Society. Karibu sana, Doc. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much, Grace. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great. So I want us to start by, of course, discussing menopause and what it is in terms of when it starts after, say, a woman's last period.
Okay. So that is exactly what menopause is. So we define menopause as 12 months or a year after a woman's last period. So menopause is actually a date. Mm-hmm. So if today is the 21st of October, and a happy belated Mashujaa Day to you.
Oh yes, happy Mashujaa Day, Doc.
So today, say being 21st of October, if by 21st of October next year, you're around the ages of 45 to 55, and you haven't had a period for that duration, we'll technically consider we'll diagnose you to be in menopause. Mm-hmm. So it's a year after your last period. Having had said that, women notice this. Many women have symptoms, and it normally starts prior to your actual last period. So on average, it's about 6 years prior to your last period. Some women, or majority of women, actually start experiencing symptoms, mm-hmm. and it can last 2 years. It's variable for each and every person, mm-hmm. After your last period, and we now call that period the perimenopausal period.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, wow, there's so much, because there are periods, there are stages, mm-hmm. we will talk about that. You mentioned the signs too. I think let's start with the signs. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so I think the most common sign that does affect or afflict a lot of women is the infamous hot flashes.
Hot flashes, yes. I found that a lot in my research, Doc. Mm-hmm. Hot flashes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And interesting, not all women get it, mm-hmm. But majority of women.
What are hot flashes?
So it's what we call, I don't know, the word is vasomotor. I don't know how to translate that.
Okay.
Okay.
Vasomotor.
Vasomotor. Uh-huh. But basically it's something to do with your blood vessels. And you just feel a certain surge of heat, and the woman starts sweating. So I've ever seen, if you're an older woman, all of a sudden they just start patting themselves all over, and they're literally drenched in sweat. So in severe cases, they'll be drenched in sweat. And it can occur any time of day, even at night. You find some women can't sleep at night because you just all of a sudden, you can't control it. It's cold, mm-hmm. but you are sweating. Mm-hmm. So, and it's very, very uncomfortable. So I think that's one of the most common symptom for menopause. Mm-hmm. Having had said that, I think technically all systems are affected. So everything from your central nervous system. So you have things like memory loss and cognitive function. So you find like, today I was at my daughter's dedication, and I'd like to wish all the candidates who are going to sit KCPE and KCSE. Mm-hmm. She's sitting KCPE. Oh, wow. And they were trying to make us do a test of like switch. So the person who was leading the session tells us to put 4 and a gun. And then she says, when you say switch, you change. So you put a gun on this side and 4. And I found that really it was very difficult for me to do that. I don't want to disclose my age.
Shall not speculate.
But I'm sure the kids who were in standard 8 were doing it with ease.
It was so easy.
Yeah, so it's a combination of mental, mm-hmm. so that's a cognitive function, mm-hmm. and you find the older you get, you can't do things as fast, even memory, things that I never used to write lists. If you just tell me I need this, and this done, I didn't need to write a list, but now I'm finding if I don't write a list, about a good chunk may not get done because I forgot it.
Lists. What are you insinuating?
We'll check your cognitive function. That may be something else.
No.
Me, I'm relating mine to age.
actually do, by the way. I don't know. I don't, maybe it's a lot of things having to juggle between so many things. Yeah, but carry on, Doug.
Yeah. So, and again, you find, as I've said, all systems are affected. So mood swings. We're on the central nervous system. Mood swings. I think that is the one. Okay. So again, they're very similar, like anything related to reproductive health. I think maybe you're thinking, but I get mood swings before my period. So just those premenstrual symptoms, but now, you know, like that one, you always tag them to the period.
Yes.
Now here they don't have a time. It's all the time. And you'll find somebody who was very stable, a very rational person, all of a sudden seems to be irrational in terms of how they're reacting to certain situations. And if somebody doesn't sit back and reflect, is not aware that, look, hey, she could be undergoing some perimenopausal changes. So it's not necessarily that the person is being irrational, but the hormone change is causing them to have that instability. Right. Now, do all women have the mood swings? The answer will be no. And some of the ways of avoiding mood swings would be, we find that women who are very well established and are comfortable with who they are, how they look, and what they're doing, tend not to have as bad mood swings as somebody who's going through a lot of change at that time, and there's a lot of instability and what is happening. But if a woman's comfortable, you may find she may not have the mood swings during the menopause time. So that's on the area of mood. Another very interesting symptom is, especially for married women, there's one of those bad D words, and I call it dyspareunia. So what is dyspareunia? Dyspareunia is painful intercourse.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And this is going to be caused by atrophy of the vaginal tissues due to lack of estrogen. So a lot of the symptoms are obviously going to be due to reduced estrogen in the symptoms, in the system. I can go on and on. Bones, if you talk about your bones, we know that your bone mineral density is going to be reduced during the menopausal time. And it's...
Your bone?
So you find like your bone mass, what we call the mineral density, in women who have no estrogen, and that's what happens after the menopause. Your estrogen levels really drop.
Yes.
So, and estrogen is responsible for maintaining that mass. So you find when you're older, they tend to suffer fractures more easily. Why is it you fall in a bathroom and your femur is not broken, whereas if your grandmother falls in the bathroom, we're treating her for a fractured neck or femur. You're like, oh my goodness. And it's all because of the menopause and the lack of estrogen leading to a reduction in her bone mineral density. Yeah.
All right, Doc, before we take a break, we're due for one in 3 minutes. I want to take you back to the hot flashes because you did tell us what they are and how they feel. But I'm wondering, like you said, how one can say have less or experience less forms of mood swings. Could it be the same for the hot flashes? Is there a way to manage them, for instance?
Okay, so yes, in terms of managing symptoms, there are various ways of managing that. But for the hot flashes, we can start with giving what we call the phytoestrogen. So this is estrogen from plant sources. So it's a more like a herbal kind of remedy. Yeah. And and this is for women. Remember, if the symptom is causing you discomfort and it's causing you not to be able to go around your daily activity most of the time, if it's mild, we just try to counsel the woman, see if she can manage the symptoms by herself. But if the symptoms are severe, causing that you can't go about your daily activity, she definitely needs some form of therapy. And again, we are able to also use some what we call hormonal therapy, so which is estrogen. The main product that we're giving is estrogen replacement, and that really does help with the hot flashes. There's something new that has come, that's a non-hormonal treatment, because I think a lot of women are very concerned when you use the word hormones.
Yes.
So there's some new drugs that are coming up that are non-hormonal that we're able to use to also control the hot flashes.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So we are due for that break, doctor. Stay with me. We take a very short break. Stay with us. We come back with this conversation on the menopause years.